Wow. LSU fall 16-13 in overtime to Arkansas. We had the chance to win there. The interception in overtime cost us. No way around it. Garrett Nussmeier did not start the game. Max Johnson started the first two series, but went 3 of 6, completed a nice third down throw. Then he was pulled for Garrett Nussmeier, who played the rest of the game, finished 18-31, 179, threw a fantastic touchdown to Jack Besh, a brilliant play that shows all of Nussmeier's qualities. Spins away from the pressure, makes the unbelievable throw. Jack Besh, third touchdown of the season. He should have a lot more. The targets haven't gone his way. They haven't been catchable at all. Finally, there's something catchable tonight. Makes a brilliant catch there. Brilliant touchdown. He finished with 466, 1 touchdown, only 7 targets his way. Once again, underutilized still, even with the big game with the touchdown. But you saw, if you thought all of the flaws of LSU's offense were going to disappear because we're starting Garrett Nussmeier, you were in for a rude awakening, big time. Every flaw that was there with the Max Johnson starts was right here once again with Nussmeier. What 3 of 16 we allowed them on third down. We went 6 of 18 on third down ourselves. 2 of 3 on fourth down. That was from Ty Davis Price's legs. Ty Davis Price was big for LSU. We're going to come on to him soon because he's definitely the offensive MVP of the game. But, Jack Besh, he should have been involved far much more. The offense, you saw the same problems rear their heads once again. We'll get on to that. But yeah, LSU fall 16-13. We're going to wait for some more people to get in here. We'll get into it because there's a lot to get into here. LSU falls 16-13. I overestimated LSU's offensive prowess because I thought Nussmeier would come in here and throw at least over 200 yards. These receivers would have a jolt of electricity, of excitement with his presence. You saw the same problems rear their head again for LSU's offense. Just this check with me bullshit where the play is called, you're up the line of scrimmage, and then you're checking, you're looking for upwards of 25, 30 seconds, and we're just giving Arkansas's defense clock. When LSU were running tempo, we're just sledgehammering them in the face, LSU were at their best. But this offense continues to lose games for this team because of this ineptitude. I don't understand it. I understand there's a lot of weapons gone. There's a lot of weapons missing from this team. But the way that we just chose to go down this rabbit hole with starting a freshman and bailing on Max Johnson completely, I think it was reckless. I think we were willing to lose the game tonight to prove a point about keeping a quarterback. Nussmeier, you could argue, was LSU's best chance to win tonight. But when you see that the other guy has 22 touchdown passes, third in the SEC, and he didn't even have a chance, the questions have to be asked. Was Garrett Nussmeier the best route to victory for LSU? I'm not so sure. the two interceptions absolutely killed LSU. They're crucial, and they're different but reminiscent in the same way of Max Johnson forcing the football under duress of pressure, stepping away from the pressure. It's the offensive line has a lot of issues. That's well documented, and some of the snaps today from Liam Shanahan. That snap he did to Ty Davis Price. Ty is probably going to have to go down with the fumble on the statistics, but that was a fumble from Liam Shanahan. That was just a ridiculous snap. Not to dump on Nussmeier at all, but this is what happens when you quasi-start a freshman against a vicious SEC defense. I mean, especially a defense that are technically sound against the pass. Monteric Brown, I was talking about him all week. He had his 4th interception, one that killed us. They forced the same mistakes out of Nussmeier as Max, just slight differences just to their profile. They attacked Nuss's happy feet, had him running right into sacks. They punished his penchant for careless throws. They went after his experience big time as well. I mean, he made some fantastic passes out there, Nussmeier. That 3rd and 20 completion to Malik Neighbors was brilliant. That was a brilliant, brilliant pass. Right through traffic, right into Malik Neighbors' gut. It came out of nowhere. It was unbelievable. The play to Jack Besh, that touchdown, is a great preview for everything that he is capable of, that Garrett Nussmeier can bring to LSU. But the interceptions as well. I mean, if you thought – I mean, we predicted before this game that he probably won't throw these interceptions because they're going to be so conservative with the passing calls. He'll be clean with the football. No. He threw 2 crucial picks. Still, he had some great throws. Showed what he can do. And these were freshman mistakes. These were freshman interceptions. It's hard to say that Nussmeier lost us the game too, but at the same time, I can't really put it on the defense. The defense were out there like absolute beasts, okay? LSU's defense, the only drawback I will say, 5 missed sacks on KJ Jefferson. Jay Ward had him twice, couldn't bring him down. Damone Clark had him another time, couldn't bring him down. Sony Fanua and Jaquaylin Roy. 5 missed sacks on KJ Jefferson, and all 5 led to big gains after, usually on 3rd down. One was for a touchdown throw as well. Just big plays by KJ Jefferson to get away from that type of pressure and make something positive after the play. It was always backbreaking because of those risky defensive blitzes, but I was glad LSU were attacking defensively. I would have it no other way. So be it. Those type of plays are going to happen, but all in all, LSU's defense were out there and they were vicious tonight. Sony Fanua had a great game. 3 big pressures. One he had a big missed sack that led to a big 3rd down run, but he also had another quarterback hit. And I believe he had at least a tackle for loss. Let's take a look at that. He might even have more than that. He's got to at least have 1. He's got 2 tackles for loss. Good. Sony Fanua with his best LSU performance, 4 tackles, 3 solo, 2 tackles for loss. Jay Ward had that brilliant flying man forced fumble out from behind KJ Jefferson on one of his pressures. You saw that Durante Jones was not afraid to blitz anyone from anywhere. And tonight, for the first game all season, Micah Baskerville tops the team in tackles with 12. Damone Clark is finally unseated. This long into the season, what is it, 10 games now? 10 games into the season, and Damone Clark is 2nd in the team in tackles. Right behind 1 tackle, right behind Micah Baskerville. Baskerville with a hell of a game. 12 tackles, 7 solo, 2 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss. He was everywhere tonight. Micah Baskerville was making really, really brilliant, really impressive stops where the guy's got tons of space. Micah Baskerville just grabs him by the legs, cuts him out from underneath him. Just really unexpected that Micah Baskerville, who I was saying could be the #1 linebacker at LSU, and was really hailing him. And then it just seemed like he disappeared for the first few games of the season, just kind of kept anonymously keep chugging through, and he just kept piling up the tackles game by game by game. And then he just kind of just explodes the last few games. He had a great outing against Alabama, great outing against Florida, and, quietly great. And now the statistics speak for themselves. Micah Baskerville has had a great season for LSU. He is not without his shortcomings, but he also had a pass breakup as well. But Baskerville has been he's been a fantastic linebacker for LSU over the last few games. Cordell Flott, we needed his tackling, just as we were saying in our preview. 6 tackles, 5 solo. B.J. Ojolari had a very mature performance. 5 tackles, 3 solo, 2 tackles for loss. 2 big plays in the backfield, but 3 pressures as well to add to that. Mike Jones Jr., who had a good game against Alabama, he had 2 huge missed tackles. Another on KJ Jefferson, a missed sack on KJ Jefferson. Xavion Jones almost had a sack on KJ Jefferson, but Damone Clark runs into him during his missed sack. 3 targets coming McLaughlin's way, 1 catch allowed. Defensively, it's hard to pick at anything. Defensively, we really, it seemed, bottled them up. KJ Jefferson, 142 yards passing. Their leading rusher had 41 yards, and that was KJ Jefferson. Those plays were backbreaking, but a lot of times they didn't lead to anything. The leading receiver had 40 yards as well, so LSU's defense were empirical yet again. It's this offense. This offense is just... Still, our average yards per rush was 2.6. Still, our average yards per play was 3.9. We ran 13 more plays than Arkansas. We had more opportunities in the red zone than Arkansas. We had more time of possession than Arkansas. But yet, we turned the ball over 3 times. They scored 6 points off those turnovers. They were able to sack Nussmeier 3 times as well. But positives, Jack Bech's performance. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Every time he gets the ball, something just really positive for LSU happens. Something just, you feel like he's a freight train. There was one play where it looked like 7, 8 guys were having to try and tackle Bech. He could not go down. Same thing has happened to the last few games. It's impressive. It's brilliant. And then he makes just one of these skyscraping touchdown catches where the way he puts that foot down, that 1 foot down, that toe tapper, Excalibur. It was absolutely sexy. Jack Bech, how you can only be throwing him the ball 7 times a game, how you cannot just be dialing his number up constantly, I don't understand it. This guy could really put up like some serious crazy numbers because no one can guard him. No one can mark this guy. Makes no sense. Trey Palmer led the team in targets with 10. He did have 6 catches for 45 yards, but how many of those catches were really effective? He had an 11-yard catch that was pretty effective, but Jack Bech, every one of those catches went for long gains, went for a touchdown, and just only 4. I don't know what we have to do. I guess we have to fire Jake Peets to get Jack Bech the ball. That's what I think we have to do. It's sad that it has to happen. I don't know if who's meddling in the offense. I've heard stuff that that Coach O is meddling in the offense. I keep hearing that over and over, regardless of who's quarterback. So it's very odd, very odd. Our running game, it didn't seem like we could get it going at first, but we grinded, and Ty Davis Price. I mean, we predicted 133 yards for him today and a touchdown. He had 106 off 28 carries. I mean, he just grinded away for 100 yards tonight. It was crazy. It's kind of what I expected, but to see it, I don't know how he got the 100-yard game, but he just was having really brilliant vision through collapsing holes, picking his moments to accelerate, his hesitations, his shiftiness. Ty Davis Price is a lot more. He's very underrated. He's a lot more of a cerebral, and a lot more of a speedier back than people give him credit for. He's not such a power back. I think tonight you saw a little more tools in his toolbox, but at the same time, TDP, another 100-yard game for this young man. He's close to a 1,000-yard season now, 170-something yards away from a 1,000-yard season. It's well within reach. Ty, this is his fourth 100-yard game now. Since the Kentucky game as well, ran for 100-something against Kentucky. I think it was like 147 against Kentucky, 287 against Florida, 104 against Alabama. Now 106 tonight. Ty Davis Price is proving that he is a complete outlier. This is not an offensive line that should have a 1,000-yard back. And here is Ty proving the impossible. There are NFL scouts who are salivating right now over this kid, because if you put him behind an offensive line that can actually block, especially some real hogs, some veteran guys, damn. I mean, you saw it against Florida. It's Derrick Henry type stuff. And that's no joke. There's a reason Nick Saban pursued Ty Davis Price so heavily. I mean, he was desperate for TDP, desperate. He stayed up all night trying to pursue him, trying to get him on the phone, trying to keep him on the phone, even before signing day, keeping him up all night the night before signing day. He was doing anything for a flip. But Ty wanted to rep his city of Baton Rouge, and, he is playing so hard for LSU. You got to hand it to him. He is consistent. He is keeping LSU in the games. There is no way I put that fumble on him. That fumble today is totally on Liam Shanahan. Before this game, he had only 3 fumbles, 1 lost in 311 touches. You can't put this one on him. This one was totally on Liam Shanahan. He's just been erratic all season long. His snapping is now starting to follow with his pass protection skills and going right down the toilet. It's sad. It's a transfer that has failed for LSU. Although, in a way, who else did we have to play center? So, in a way, without having him there, I mean, I guess LSU would be even more screwed. Which is proof of something even worse. Savion Jones didn't get credit for it, but he had a quarterback hit in the game. He had a really nice pressure around the edge on KJ Jefferson, forcing incompletion there. Neil Farrell Jr. had his first quiet game all season. Only 1 tackle. I counted 1 pressure from him. It seemed like there was 1 play where I saw him just go to the sidelines looking tired, but he wasn't huffing and puffing, but he was kind of staring off, and he took off his helmet and just kind of stood there. And I don't know if he was hurt. It looked like Cullen D'Angelo was looking back over at him and talking to him. He could have been hurt. Something was up there, but Neal has played a lot of snaps. Neil Farrell Jr. has been in there, I think he's been in there every snap. It's crazy how much Neil Farrell Jr. has been playing, especially lately, playing a lot of snaps. Potential for an injury, I'm not sure. He could have also just been completely winded. What a heroic effort from this defense yet again. Gene Chizik said at halftime, if Durante Jones had done this all season, he would be up for the Broyles Award. And that kind of makes me feel like, was Durante Jones sabotaged? Was someone not letting Durante Jones call the defense he wanted to call? Because if that's the truth, that changes everything. And then all you really need to get is a head coach, and it doesn't matter if that head coach has offensive, if he has complete offensive mindset, he's not even a defensive guy whatsoever. That's fine, because if this is the type of defense Durante Jones is going to call at LSU, I don't know about you, but after seeing a few games of it against high-level competition, with what is the circumstances that are surrounding, and then who is at his disposal, when you're looking at like Derek Davis Jr. is getting some snaps finally. Derek Evans is out there a lot of snaps. Sony Fanua is starting at defensive end over Ali Gay and Andre Anthony because they're both out. Cam Lewis is in there at safety because Major Burns is gone. Todd Harris is hurt and out of the picture. There's so many injuries. Eli Ricks, Derek Stingley Jr. I mean, it could go on and on. But because of those injuries, he's had to kind of like start with a clean slate. And I feel like maybe someone who is meddling in the defense felt like, okay, well now they have no hope against Alabama, so I'm going to leave them alone and let them do their thing. And then maybe Durante was like, all right, finally we're being left alone. Let's call this shit how we should. And then suddenly something happened, because it seemed like during that bye week, I know Coach O was taking credit for it on SEC Network, saying we got to call these blitzes, and we need to finally call these blitzes. I just can't see a world where Durante Jones comes into the season with LSU and is just like, I'm not going to blitz these guys at all. I'm going to call defense with total fear. I cannot foresee a season until I hear it from Durante Jones' mouth or I see evidence otherwise that he came into this season with fear, calling a defense with fear. I just cannot see it. We're going to rep some of these strong performances from LSU tonight. Offensive MVP, TDP, 106 yards tonight, 28 carries. Same time, only a 3.8 average because it's just that offensive line. I mean, even at the offensive line, it's down to the bone thin. Anthony Bradford's gone out of the picture when he was looking pretty damn good. Garrett Dellinger got some snaps tonight. I don't know why Xavier Hill isn't being used as much. I thought he was looking great during fall camp. And then he was used out of position at left tackle and stuff like that during the early parts of the season. And I thought he had some good moments, and then he had, a few pretty bad moments. But he was being used completely out of position. So I kind of felt for him being kind of cast out of the picture. And we just haven't really seen much from Xavier Hill, which I think is kind of unfair think he's a strong, versatile talent, and it would suck to lose him because I feel like if we lose Xavier Hill out of Olive Branch High School there in Mississippi, Nick Saban's going to come calling. Like that's for sure. That's for sure. I'm just telling you, we cannot lose someone like Xavier Hill. He's very versatile along the offensive line. We got to play guys like that. It seemed like there was a lot of Marcus Doomerville in there tonight too. Marcus Doomerville. And I liked what I saw from him on a few snaps. I'll have to go back and look at the tape and see how his overall performance was. But from what I saw, Marcus Doomerville had some good pushes. It seemed like he had, he was doing some good things. Cam Wire went down with yet another injury, of course. Another injury. This guy cannot stay healthy. It is sad. Cardell Thomas, I'm wondering if he actually got out there. Cardell Thomas was talked about by even Coach O this week, and I thought he was supposed to be in there at left guard. I'm really not sure about that. Defensive MVP, I mean, that's got to go to Micah Baskerville. I mean, come on. I mean, that's a lit performance from Micah Baskerville. 12 tackles, 7 solo, 2 sacks. His first 2 sacks on the season. 3.5 tackles for loss. And 1 pass deflection as well. This is his greatest outing as an LSU Tiger. In all the time, I mean, he scored a weird special teams touchdown in 2019 and then almost took another one to the house in the same season. Micah Baskerville, I think it was a blocked punt or something like that. Micah Baskerville, and then another was an onside kick that he almost took for a touchdown. So Micah Baskerville almost scored 2 special teams touchdowns in 2019. He's had some moments at LSU. He had an all right season in 2020. He was exposed against the best teams, just like everybody else on this defense. Had to deal with the Pelini-isms of 2020 and the torrid collective performances, of course. All in all, though, Micah Baskerville coming into 2021 had some academic stuff, was on the fringes. I was thinking this guy could have a hell of a season. He didn't quite show it until you got to these moments, the last few games here. And Micah Baskerville, he continues to build from one strong moment, one strength, one huge tackle in space to another. This super senior, he's putting on a display here. Micah Baskerville was fantastic tonight. One stop after another, putting them to sleep tonight. Arkansas had nowhere to go. The only times they had any positive plays were the KJ Jefferson scrambles, those missed sacks. Those 5 missed sacks, 6 if you want to count the Mike Jones Jr. one. Yeah, I guess we'll go with that. Mike Jones Jr. So that's 6. Those 6 missed sacks. Without those plays, Arkansas probably walk out of here with a few field goals tonight. Instead, they walk out of LSU Death Valley with a win, 16-13, because of the ineptitude of Jake Peetz in this offense, because of the reckless nature of the transfer portal and Coach Ed Orgeron's inability to manage a football team, throwing Garrett Nussmeier out there. I don't know why you never looked back to Max Johnson, even just to take a look, because things were not going well. Things were not going anywhere near what the hype was all about. Things were crumbling on offense in the passing game. Jack Besh should have been given the football a lot more. There was so many, 13 points. 13 points. I mean, come on. We got some comments here. Adrian Perkins says the defense. AD, the damn defense was amazing. Yes, they were. AD still says the damn defense was amazing. The defense were lighting it up tonight, man. This was a fundamentally strong performance all around. Every guy was The alignment was beautiful. The blitzes were beautiful. It's just the thing that really hurts me is that these KJ Jefferson plays still didn't even hurt this defense, because there was one play where we could not get. I think there's one drive where we missed a few sacks on Jefferson, and he made 2 huge plays. And we thought we were going to be able to hold him to a field goal, and they had this unbelievable 3rd and 10 conversion from KJ Jefferson. And they're pinning us deep into the red zone. And the defense still holds them to a field goal. It just sent messages to me of like, this is unbelievable from this defense. What a turnaround with Durante Jones. From the first part of the season to now. What is the difference here? The difference is we're attacking now. It doesn't the personnel, whatever. Yes. The personnel, maybe these guys care more. Maybe these guys want it more. I don't know. But the proof is out there, and it looks like it. They're vicious. They're flying around. That's not saying Andre Anthony, Eli Ricks, Derek Stingley Jr., Major Burns don't want it more. That's just saying these guys want it. They're out there flying around. They're out there with their backs against the wall, and they know they're the underdogs in every game, and they don't care. They were out there just pummeling people into the fucking dirt. I mean, it was just like, this defense has been fun to watch the last few games. This defense has been just a freight train of hate pain from minute 1 to minute 60. And then tonight, going into overtime, hold them to a field goal. It's the best you can hope for. It's your offense that gave them the ball with the chance to win with just a field goal. The fact that our defense still made them, it's just, our defense deserves to have these wins over these last few games. It's really messed up. Kevin Howell, what's up, brother? Kevin Howell, the teacher. What's up, brother? Do you think so many underclassmen playing is in an effort to limit the exodus to the transfer portal? Sorry, I read that horrible. Do you think so many underclassmen playing is in an effort to limit the exodus to the transfer portal? 100%. But at the same time, there wasn't enough. You saw some guys coming in at certain moments, but I feel like I don't know. Greg Penn, where was he out there? Greg Penn III, where was he? It's just you've got guys like Jack Besh out there. You've got guys like Brian Thomas Jr. Where was he tonight? Where was Brian Thomas Jr. at all? We threw him a fade route. He could have caught this ball. He let it hit his hands. And really that was it. 1 drop, 4 targets, and that drop comes in the end zone. So Nussmeier gave him a chance to make a play, Brian Thomas Jr., and he let it hit his hands. He threw it up. There's a lot of air under that football, but at the same time, Brian Thomas Jr. creates the separation. Arkansas DB completely overruns it, and he lets the guy kind of physical him from behind just a slightly bit, and he just kind of lets it go off his hand. I don't know how you can't catch that football. Just bothers me. There's a lot of underclassmen, yes, they're playing, but I don't know why Nussmeier needed to stay in the game. I thought it would have been interesting to see if Max Johnson could have done something with it, but they wanted to go with Garrett Nussmeier, win or lose, and it seemed like if they were going to lose, they didn't care. The way that they ran out the clock, that's the thing I was going to say in my intro that I completely forgot. Kevin Howell says the offense should have benched the play calling. Yes, they should have. But the thing that I was going to say to open this thing that really, really, really just pissed me off was the way that we ran that final series. Not only in the fourth quarter, but of course in overtime as well. You can include both. The way that we ran it in the fourth quarter, though, is despicable. We absolutely had a chance to win this game. We were running it right down their throats. We were just going right down the field. All we needed is a field goal from Cade York to win this game. And we basically run out the clock on ourselves and punt it right away. We gave this game away with the worst clock management, the worst play management, the worst play calling. It was ridiculous. There was one play where we literally ran off like just the entire play clock, just looking befuddled. People moving this way, people moving this way, receivers running in way late, the ref in the way, giving us, having to make us delay until we can call the snap, and then everyone is still befuddled and still messed up and still like. And then there's plays where Ty is wanting the ball snapped quick. He's kind of saying, let's snap it. And it's waiting 30 more seconds to snap the ball. And then they run the draw. And then he's still having to get out of the way of these guys going right at his feet. It's just, it is a absolute discombobulated, absolute mess out there. It is shocking. It is repellent. 13 points. That Arkansas defense is not that good. And I know we're missing a lot of guys, but it doesn't matter. Like I said before the quarterback change, and I got so much shit for it. You're defending Max Johnson. You're defending Max Johnson. I wasn't. I pointed out where Max Johnson made some horrible, horrible plays last week that cost us the game. He made some bad throws that cost us that game. But you put any quarterback behind that offensive line with that play calling, with that offensive coordinator, with that just discombobulated mess, they're going to play like that too. And you saw it tonight. And I understand he's a freshman, but it doesn't matter. And still, I love what I saw from Nussmeier on in the big picture sense. The way he spun away from that pressure and made that disgusting touchdown over the top of Jack Besh. It's a hell of a preview, man. But you know what? Maybe this could have been a game where Max Johnson could have come back in, had a redemption moment, won the game. We'll never find out because we never tried it. And that's the problem with this LSU team. This LSU staff, I should say. There's the lack of creativity, the lack of thoughtfulness, the lack of tact, the lack of motivation, creativity, just everything. It is just so lazy. And it is not only, they just, these are just the cosmetics of a team. No, this is what wins or lose. This is what defines who wins championships. Okay, not just who wins or loses every single week. Defines who wins championships and who can create dynasties in the end. I mean, fuck. Adrian Perkins says it seems like the more aggressive they've become, the more disciplined and sound they've become. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I don't know where the lack of blitzes was from. Why it just seemed like they just have discovered the blitz. Blitzing on 7%, 6% of downs until the last few games. My God. Unbelievable. Just disgusting. AD calls it the worst offense in LSU history, including the Leslie Edwin era. You know what? I mean, there's a lot of people who are saying Nussmeier would throw some rockets, and this offense would at least be putting up enough points to beat Alabama. And it was like, you might be right. No. It looks like they were wrong. It looks like the defense of Mac Johnson seems a little more correct here in the big picture. That, yes, there's some flaws in Max Johnson's game. Of course, we're not escaping from that. We're not trying to hide away from that. But look at the deficiencies in Garrett Nussmeier's game. And any defensive coordinator who has the brain, Barry Odom tonight with Arkansas, can exploit that, take advantage of it, and punish you. And that is exactly what happened tonight with those 2 interceptions, the crazy Wildcat fumble from Liam Shanahan with that ridiculously high snap. We gave Arkansas this game. We gave them this game 16-13 in overtime. I don't get it. I don't get it. Jamer joins us. Jamer, what's up? The Jamer. Yo. The Jamer. It was a fun watch because it was fun to watch LSU's defense fly around like that, right? But was it really that fun of a game to watch when you see that offense just keep giving that ball right back to Arkansas? I mean, you're seeing the defense continuously fly around, make great plays, but once again, it's just this offense should be lighting it up here. This offense should be lighting it up here, even without Butte out, even without all these guys out. Coy Moore transferring, Deion Smith, Chris Hilton. Name whoever you want that's gone. It does not matter. We still have Jack Besh, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., Jeray Jenkins. Get them the football and give them the football in space. I just don't understand it. We would call a great play call where it's just a simple crossing route. We'd get 15 to 20 yards. And then we'd go completely down this rabbit hole of bullshit, and we would never return to that. These long developing routes where these guys are going on these triple, quadruple move, doing just dancing around. When you watch the full 11 film of these LSU games, it pisses you off because these routes are just ridiculous. I don't even know what the hell is going on here with Jake Peetz. He loves calling these long developing circus bullshit things. It's just it's ridiculous. Should Jake Peetz be fired? Is this Jake Peetz's problem? Is Jake Peetz the problem here? I know there's a lot of people who love this guy and say that how close they are with Jake Peetz and how he's a great recruiter, but I don't give a damn if I see that type of offense out there. What the hell is this? Is this Jake Peetz's calling stuff, and then they're about to call it? Coach O is over there on the sideline. Hey, don't call it. Just messing around. Like, what the hell's going on here? I literally would believe that if a credible source or 3 or even 4 told me that and could prove it. Like, is Coach O literally sabotaging Jake Peetz and Durante Jones here? I've literally had LSU Tiger parents who are as close as it can be in the offensive room to Jake Peetz, who have said Coach Ed Orgeron is meddling in the offense. And they've said it repeatedly. They said it tonight when Garrett Nussmeier was starting, not when Max Johnson was starting. So that's 2 different quarterbacks. Both times, the accusation of Coach O meddling in the offense has been said. It's crazy. I'm not trying to explain it away and trying to say this is my opinion. I'm trying to tell you what I've been hearing, and that's Coach O meddling in the offense. Last year, I heard that Coach O was meddling in the defense. I don't think that excuses Bo Pelini. I think Bo Pelini was an absolute disaster and an absolute joke last year. But Could Coach O have been meddling in the defense last year, and now he's meddling in the offense this year? What do you think? Is Coach O meddling? Is it Jake Peetz that should be fired for this? Because somebody's got to pay for this. Coach O's already on his way out. But if Jake Peetz is really not this bad, does he deserve a second shot? Do we wipe the slate clean? DJ says these can't be the same passing plays from 2019. No way. Passing plays from 2019 are very simple. I mean, devastatingly simple. It was literally like, you literally had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase doing these little in routes, or they would go. It was a choice route. Okay, they'd go up 5 yards, and then they would choose whether to go out or in, depending on where the linebacker was, where the nickel was, the alignment. And that stuff was killer because it was very easy. Joe Burrow knew they're going to go inside or out. Just very simple. And they're just doing these slants, just quick slants, crosser routes. These are routes where it's you can't fucking guard me. So watch this. And if the pass is accurate in space and you lead the guy even just a little bit, no one's touching him. No one's catching him for at least 10, 12 yards at a clip, even against the best defenses. You saw it with Jack Bech against Alabama. Look at how open he is on that crossing route with the game on the line. With the fucking game on the line, with a veteran linebacker on his ass, and Jack Bech, a freshman, is wide open in space if he can be hit with accuracy right in his hip, right into his chest. If he can be hit, he's got a first down, completion of maybe even 20, 25 yards on the run. Bech on the run being hit like this, going upfield. You saw it at St. Thomas More, and you've seen it at LSU as well. The guy is a monster. You saw it on his first catch against UCLA. At that angle, he is a monster after the catch. Let him do this. Give this guy the football in space. That's the thing. That's the thing about the 2019 offense. It was devastatingly simple. Everyone wants to think it was this complex wizardry, but yeah, maybe the pre-snap motions, the pre-snap matchup brilliance that they had, who they were going to pick on and why, all of the homework, the preparation they did for the week of, that shit was the wizardry. That stuff, that was the meat. Okay, that was the steak there. But what was really the killer sauce was just how devastatingly, just athletically superior LSU's receivers always have been. LSU's receivers are still athletically superior right now, even with freshmen out there. You saw Brian Thomas Jr. outwitting him right there. I can't excuse that play. Brian Thomas Jr. should have caught that pass. The point is, we haven't been calling these plays enough in this manner for these type of players because they can do the same thing. It's very simple. Slant to Bech. Boom. Bech against a linebacker on a slant. That is all day. It's not rocket science. You don't have to put on a show about how smart you are and, okay, we do this and we do it, and then they go on this, and then we're going to do an out and an up, and a blah, 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 and then you're going to double move, and then blah, 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 and then you're going to try and get the mesh. Blah, blah, blah. Just run the mesh concepts. Just run the quick slants. Run the quick bulleted screens, offense pulling outwards, getting those blocks out in space. It's just not good enough. It's so simple. It's so simple. If you want to call these deep shots, great. but there's no play action. There's nothing to delay the blitz. There's nothing to delay the defense coming right after the quarterback. It's just boom, getting destroyed, or oh shit, everything's collapsing, getting your fucking teeth knocked out by a guy coming in at you on a blitz on the edge. Like it's if you thought that Max Johnson was so poor and so bad that Garrett Nussmeier is going to come in and he's at least going to be better, you're fooling yourself, especially after tonight. You're fooling yourself because there was a lot of people, I'm not going to name names, who've got things that they're saying, about Max Johnson, about the quarterback position. Tonight they were proved wrong. It's a lot tougher of a position to play, especially when what is surrounding you is not reliable and you cannot depend on it. You cannot depend on what's in front of you. Even when you've got warriors like Austin Deculus who are out there every snap, giving their all. I mean, these Tigers, I can't rip on these guys because they're out there giving everything physically for this team, for this university, for the purple and gold, for you and me. And that's the thing is, like, I can't sit here and criticize them like they are the ones who are at fault here for a 4-6 football team. LSU is at 4-6, and that is not the players' fault. That is the adults in the room who are responsible for the burning house. And it's time we take them to task, to accountability. No more of this, oh, this guy sucked, oh, this quarterback was horrible, so let's dump on him. This running back is horrible. If we just moved this running back in there, LSU would be so much better. No. It's if we just moved this staff out of here, we would be much better. That is why LSU need to hire the right guy here moving forward. And they need to make sure, Scott Woodward has to nail this hire. He cannot leave anything to chance. Leaving it to chance to someone like Jimbo Fisher, I'm not sure if that's really a smart move. That is why he's got to nail this hire. Someone like Lincoln Riley is the home run hire. That's what a lot of people didn't understand about the news we tried to share over the last, I think it's almost been 2 weeks now, concerning Lincoln Riley. We are not saying he is confirmed to be LSU's next head coach. We are saying we can confirm that he is in fact a definite, real, high priority front-running candidate for Scott Woodward. That is what we're saying. I have never said he is confirmed to be the LSU head coach. I'm saying his candidacy, his probability of being LSU's head coach is looking likely. When you follow everything that is headed in that direction, there's a lot of things that just continue to add to Lincoln Riley being LSU's head coach. There's a lot of spice with the Jimbo Fisher stuff, and I think Jimbo Fisher could still very much be in the running. It's Jimbo Fisher. It's Scott Woodward. But what I'm hearing is that Scott Woodward is prepared to offer Lincoln Riley as much as $12, even $13 million to leave Norman, Oklahoma. After today, it might be a lot easier for Lincoln to leave Oklahoma. After last week, I think the enticing nature of LSU's program hit a fever pitch because of LSU's defensive performance with so many starters gone. I think you saw what LSU can build. And I don't know. It's there's been a lot of conflicting. I just want to clear that up, make sure that that is understood. If and when I can confirm that Lincoln Riley is going to be LSU's next head coach, I would love to confirm that. It's not yet. It's not right now, but hopefully it's coming soon. But here's the thing. These coaches have a season to finish out. So these things still might take weeks to occur. But I can tell you this, that the wheels have been in motion for a long time. Long time coming. They've been searching for the right guy for a long time. Woodward has him. He's in his sights. And he's looking to finish the deal. And for all we know, the deal could be done right now. In fact, I might have a text about something to do with the head coaching search. Let me take a look. Because usually I get stuff after this game. Oh my God. LSU are hiring Kevin Spacey for the new head coaching position. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway, LSU defense puts on a show versus Arkansas. We lose 16-13. The offense is an absolute disgrace. Our offensive MVP, LSU Odyssey's offensive MVP tonight, Ty Davis-Price, 106 yards tonight versus Arkansas. Could not get in the end zone, though. Wish he could have. Defensive MVP, Micah Baskerville, 12 tackles. Finally stops Damone Clark's streak. He leads the team. Micah Baskerville leads the team in tackles. He ends Damone Clark's streak. Damone Clark had a fantastic game, too. It just walloped him. Follow us on Instagram at Lon Phillips Sullivan. You've got to check out our Instagram. We've got so many clips, so many things about the games, so many pictures, so many crazy things. We try and put up clips, stuff like that. We're going to be trying to expand even more with that. Follow us definitely there at Lon Phillips on Twitter as well. But yeah, we're going to go have some dinner and have a good rest of your night, everybody. Go Tigers. Thank you all for joining me. AD, Jamer, Kevin Howell. Who else was in here? DJ, my man. AD says, keep Jimbo the hell away from my school. His offenses have too many games like A&M had tonight. Yeah. AD also says the Craig hire is rearing its ugly head more and more every week. Jamer says those young guys are fighting for their spot in 2022. So we had DJ, we had AD Perkins, we got Kevin Howell, we got Jamer in the house. Everybody, thank you so much. Go Tigers.